Hello and welcome to another edition of the Red Phoenix Gaming Podcast. I'm your host Derek, and with me as always is the lovely Michelle, who's looking at me with this terrible look on her face. And we're going to
Not
talk.
terrible.
It is pretty terrible. We're going to talk about some gaming news stuff and things that happened over this 5/2/15. That's right, we're in May, folks.
Oh man.
Almost Star Wars Day.
Almost Star Wars Day.
This is
It was Age of Ultron Day.
It was Age of Ultron Day, which I haven't seen it, and I'm so bitter.
I know, me too.
That's okay. Responsibilities and priorities and stuff.
That's true.
This is podcast 31.
Yep.
Because last week was the tentative queso party that never happened, unfortunately.
Bad.
And yeah, podcast 31. Guitar solo. Explosion. And of course, the lightning. Every time.
Good work.
So, yeah, let's get talking about some gaming news stuff and things, right?
Right, that's what we do.
We I don't know if we failed to mention it last week or if it was off of my radar or I just screwed up. But we don't necessarily always talk about PC news, and we missed a huge thing last week if we didn't talk about it.
Way to go.
That's my bad. Yeah, absolutely my bad.
Responsibility.
But Valve started charging for mods in their Skyrim game,
That's true.
and it allowed modders to get paid for what they love to do. So, basically, they set it up where I think they got between Valve and Bethesda, they got like a huge chunk of the profit, like 75% of it or something. But the modder still got 25%. So if the mod was good and they were able to charge however much they wanted, you could go in, you could buy the mod, and you could basically show support for the modder that you chose or that you downloaded. Well, this didn't last very long. It's already done. It's gone, which we can talk about why in a second. But one of the people that weighed in on it was the creator of Gary's mod, Gary Newman, and he basically came out and just said, find a way to pirate them. With the world we live in and with everything going on, he said paid mods are ridiculous, and there's got to be a way to just pirate the mods. So,
And that's coming from a guy who's made a career out of mods.
yeah, I mean, he has Gary's mod. He has his own mod, basically, that people mess around in and everything else. And he basically just said he didn't care, and he would go out and basically pirate it if he wanted something.
Yeah.
Or he suggested, I should say, to pirate it. But what are your thoughts on this? I mean, are you okay with this? Since they were free before, and now all of a sudden it was like, oh, you have to pay, 25 cents for this burning sword, or $1.99 for a full set of armor, when the game can come down to like $5 on Steam sales.
I feel like anytime you throw money at like a modification like that, you're supporting the person who's making it. And I feel like if they have more money, they have more time and resources to make a better thing. So stuff like that, I don't mind giving money to them. I mean, I pay Call of Duty for pink things, so
Right.
same goes along the same line.
Well, and Gabe Newell actually came out and said, "Look, we'll dump paid mods if it's bad for the gamers."
And he's the
And
CEO of Valve, right?
yeah, he's the top guy. He's the leader of it all. So when he came out and said that they're gonna dump it, and basically gamers didn't want it, they flat out said like, not a fan at all. Which Skyrim's pretty modded community as it is, because
Yeah.
that's how they keep it relevant. I think the game came out in like 2011, so it's like 4 years old at least, right? 2011, something like that. But yeah, it's been keeping the community alive with mods, and people are still playing it today. So it didn't make sense for them to keep it, and they went ahead and they removed it like he said they would.
Yeah.
And it lasted for like a whopping 4 days or something. So um, now Bethesda came out and they spoke out in defense of paid mods, and Steam came out and said that it's for the best. And um, now I don't know why it's for the best if only 25% goes to the modder, but I guess since they're using the source material from Skyrim, then I guess they have to get their cut. I just I don't understand how you're giving the modder that little of a percentage.
Yeah. I know. Excuse me. That didn't make a lot of sense to me at all because I think if they're the ones doing all the work, they're getting the smallest amount.
Right.
So that part didn't make any sense to me.
I feel like if Steam's going to do this, they should incorporate some sort of Patreon or some sort of like donate button for modders that if you like their mod, you can just send them some cash or whatever. Um,
I
but
got cash.
yeah, but like I I feel like it has to be a different way. There has to be a better way to go about it than charging everyone or charging charging for the mod and letting the developer put a number on it. Because
Right.
you could put a mod on there for $3,000. No one's gonna ever buy it, but you could put it on there and make that the price point. So I think that if they're gonna do it, they should make it regulated a little better, and then they shouldn't take as much off the top. I mean, the modders, granted, they're using the source content, but when the game's $5 and a modder puts in the time and effort that they want to put in, they go to charge $5 for their mod. Unless their mod changes the game completely or adds a whole lot to it, they can't charge $5,
Right.
and they'll probably never recuperate their effort and time or anything like that out of the money that they get out of a mod. So it's come and gone, and here we are. Speaking of other things that have come and
Short-lived.
gone, yeah, it's all right. PT's teaser trailer, or well, not trailer, playable teaser demo, I guess you'd call it, for the next Silent Hill is being removed, and by being, I mean it's already been removed from
Yeah,
the
I took it off
PlayStation Store.
Wednesday.
So this isn't good for all those Silent Hill fans out there. Uh,
No. Or the Norman Reedus fans.
or the Norman Reedus fans. They came out and initially they were like, oh sorry, hitting my mic here. Initially they came out and they didn't really say that they were canceling it, and then all they really said was that the contract with Reedus was expired, and they again didn't really want to say one way or the other whether or not they were canceling it after this whole Kojima leaving Konami thing and Guillermo del Toro not wanting to continue without him or something. Like it's just turned into a cluster, and
And he made a comment on Twitter actually that they scrapped it.
yeah.
Um, Norman Reedus did, and then they came back and said no, but his contract is up, and we're still working on it. That's what I understood.
Right, and like they were basically just being coy with it and just being like, no, it's not really what happened. But it comes down to the same thing as like, oh, Kojima's fired. Oh, well, that's categorically incorrect. Like,
Yeah,
that's not really what happened, but that's basically what's going on.
right.
And since then, Silent Hill's come out and they've actually confirmed, or not Silent Hill, but Konami's come out and actually confirmed that Silent Hill is canceled, and that they're not going to continue with it. So if you wanted to check out PT, you missed your chance. I apologize.
Playable
And
teaser.
if you really want to go play that playable teaser and get the crap scared out of you, because that was literally one of the scariest things I've seen, go ahead and hit up eBay, because they have it listed. A PlayStation on eBay with PT is only like $1,800. So go ahead and
So somebody downloaded the playable teaser
yep,
onto their PlayStation and put the PlayStation up on eBay for sale.
yeah, with a starting bidding
Oh.
price of like $1,000.
Hmm.
But you can pay it now, right? Like at this moment for 1,800.
No thanks.
Only $2,000 to play a demo on a PlayStation. Have at it.
Probably like a 20-minute demo.
Yeah, I think it's rather quick to run through. But you get to see Norman Reedus at the end of it. So
That's nice.
if you're a
Because
hardcore
he won't
Reedus
be in
fan,
the game.
there isn't a game. Oh well. Um, moving on. Sorry, I'm like so distracted from Norman Reedus talk here. Our
Walking Dead, it's because it's
that's
gone.
that's right, our Walking Dead homie.
At least we have Game of Thrones.
That's right. Which, oh my gosh, I can't wait. Anyway, focus. But we'll move back onto it. You guys actually should be seeing some sort of Game of Thrones go on if you're watching us on the YouTubes. But yes, moving on. Batman, Arkham Knight. Oh my goodness. Have you seen this trailer?
No, I didn't watch it. I
It-
apologize.
It's okay. It's absolutely one of the coolest trailers I've seen in quite a while, especially for Batman, which I guess I should come to expect it because all of their trailers have been pretty sweet. But they basically have you set up in something that they call dual play, which lets you switch seamlessly, as per, you know, their words here. Seamlessly switch between Dark Knight and his allies, including Robin, Nightwing, and Catwoman in free flow combat.
That's pretty cool.
So like you're beating somebody up as Batman, and all of a sudden, now you're over to Nightwing, you know, taking them down with your nightsticks, and
So
oh
it's
my
almost playing
gosh,
like the Batman Lego game.
yes, where you can
Because you
like
can
swap
swap
out,
whoever your
yes,
buddy is.
yep, and they have like a bunch of like in the thing in the trailer you actually see they have a bunch of like combos where like Batman takes Robin's bow staff and like whips him around with it, or he grabs Catwoman and like spins her like a hammer throw type thing. I mean, you know, it's just like tandem, you know, destruction, and it
Amazing.
looks great. I can't wait. I'm so excited to be seeing other characters than just Batman. Um, and I'm hoping that the spoiler from our like 8 videos ago isn't actually true if they're going to be
I
doing
know.
this. But
And they also rated it M, right?
yes,
M for mature.
which was I believe the first M rating that they've had because the other two were T or were they
Yeah,
rated for everyone?
something like that. It was either T for teen or E for everyone. This is rated mature, and they said it's not necessarily there's going to be a lot of violence, a lot of swearing, or a lot of blood, but they just didn't want to have to put themselves in a compromising position where they couldn't tell the story exactly the way they needed to.
Yeah, and I think they said it's going to be like a darker tone all the way around for the game as opposed to the first two, which was more comic Batman, I'll say, like
I
kind of
don't
like
feel
the.
like that at all because they had Scarecrow in that one, and that was terrifying, and I had nightmares after I played that.
You,
Nightmares.
you didn't want to like peel back the thing and see
No,
your
no, I didn't.
parents.
No, it was awful. Poor Batman.
That's all right.
Spoiler alert: his parents are dead.
In case you know absolutely
In
nothing
case you didn't know
and
that.
haven't seen at least one of the 40 Batman films. Did you see on ESPN the other night that they had esports?
They had, yeah, they were having like a college tournament.
Yes, the Heroes of the Dorm or Heroes of the Storm gameplay, but
Blizzard put it on, right? Because they were giving like
yes.
the winner got college tuition. How great is that?
Yeah, they I think it was UC Berkeley versus Arizona State. Is that who it was, right?
That's pretty cool.
And whoever won, they got like uh everyone on their team got tuition for I think it was like something crazy, but they got tuition paid for, and they had like actual sportscasters, and they made
I
it like
love
an
that.
actual sporting event.
That's great.
Have you seen an actual like sporting event being showed on ESPN or not sporting, but like e-sporting,
I don't
electronic
think
sports,
so.
video
No,
game sports on
that
ESPN
must have been
two?
like the first one, huh?
It's got to be something close to it. I haven't seen anything like that. Like the night that it was happening, I was like, I'm going to bed. I walk upstairs. I go through my normal channels. I go to ESPN. I was like, I don't feel like watching. I think it was basketball at the time, and I went over to like TBS. I think baseball was on. I was like, all right, whatever. I'll go check out ESPN too. And I'm just scrolling through, and I see this, and I go, is this League of Legends? Is this
That's
Dota?
amazing.
Like, what is going on? And I was like, maybe it's like a commercial. So I sit back on my couch or on my bed and I look at it, and I said, no, this isn't a commercial. This is actually happening.
It's amazing.
I thought I was in a dream world. So I I sat there and I actually watched it. I watched like a half hour or
Were you
45 minutes of it.
entertained?
Yes. I
See,
was surprisingly entertained.
get out.
And
That's great.
that's actually like if you look at a lot of the tweets from people, people initially were like,
What the heck?
so yeah, like they were like, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. What are these people doing? It's not a
Can't look away.
sport. Yeah, and like a lot of people were like upset by it, and then
Wait, they
so
were upset that there were esports on ESPN?
yes, because they're like, no, this isn't real sports.
Can I
Uh,
ask a question? I feel like
absolutely.
we've talked about this before. Don't they put like pool and blackjack on ESPN?
Yep.
So why is that not a sport? Why is that a sport?
The
And
World
why don't
Series of
we?
Poker goes on
Okay,
ESPN
right?
too. Why
So
can't this go
stop.
on ESPN too?
I feel like we've had this conversation before.
People were making jokes like ESPN 2 should be renamed the Ocho
The Ocho.
from like Dodgeball. And then like Michelle Beadle, who I'm pretty sure is part of ESPN, right? Something like that. She's something famous, but she actually got on there and she's like took the bait, turned on ESPN 2. As someone whose face appears daily on the channel, I don't have answers. She had no idea what was going on, and then she's like, by the end of it, she was like, these like first off, the announcers were killing it. They were doing awesome. She had no idea what was going on, but she couldn't leave the station.
Yeah,
She
you
was
can't
hooked,
look away.
and like that's how it was with me. Like I was like, I'm just gonna see what's going on. Like I'm just gonna check it out. And then I look over at my clock, and it was a half hour later, and I'm like, all right, I gotta see who wins now.
Like
Like,
I've gone onto Twitch, like just to see who's playing what's going on, and I'll get sucked into like one of those League of Legends channels or like the Dota channels, and
yeah,
I'll sit there and watch. I have no idea how to play any of those games. I have no interest in playing those games, but you can't stop watching because you just want to kind of see what happens, and it's pretty cool to watch.
yeah. I don't even like. I can't even comprehend some of the things that are happening, and like I don't know who to follow. You're watching like a red guy who like disappears and reappears and comes back, and you're like, what just happened? Because we don't play it, but
Yeah.
it was so awesome to see it be on like actual television.
And they gave some poor college kids tuition money.
Yes,
Can't
yes,
beat
which
that.
was
I love
which was
that.
the big part. I mean, that's the part that matters.
But if you think about it, like things like League of Legend and Dota, they have these giant tournaments
Yeah.
with tons and tons of money that they give away in these giant tournaments. So this is kind of like an introduction, I bet you. And you're going to start seeing stuff like this more probably on this type of channel.
Well, ESPN has always been a like forefront in these type of things, and I feel like if allowed, they would absolutely like continue to do this. Now I know that people like Colin Coward, is that how you pronounce his name? Flat out said, "I will retire if I'm told uh, to commentate on a video game tournament." He said, didn't care. He's not going to do any video game stuff. He hated it. He didn't like the fact that it was sports. And
Who
he
is
actually
he?
he's a talking head. He actually went on his radio broadcast and said it flat out. If I was the chairman of ESPN, that'd be the next thing I made him do, just to be like,
Yeah, that's
you're not the
kind of
boss.
closed-minded. Like if you're going to move forward and change things, and I've learned this over 150 years of being in the workforce,
Yeah.
that things change and you might not always like them, but there's a reason it's happening and it's for the better. And for him to be kind of snotty and turn around and say, I'm not going to do it, like, stop. Don't be a brat.
So
Go
I
stand in timeout and go call out video game things.
yeah, from the unemployment line.
That's right.
So I was gonna try to be mature enough to not touch on it, but did you just say you worked in the workforce for 150 years? Because
150
usually I'm
years.
the one snapping old jokes,
I know.
and
I'm trying to get ahead of you on this
you're
one so
just
I don't
set-
have to hear it.
you're
I
just
just
setting
want
them
to
up before they
I
even
set
happen.
myself up and I just zinged myself before you could get to me.
Oh my goodness. I don't even know what to say right now.
It's okay.
I had such a good train of thought that I was going to talk about. Oh, so yeah, so esports with ESPN being a forefront and like going along with this, you have to realize Activision and Blizzard, they are worth like almost 19 billion
Billions.
dollars.
Yeah.
And they're a huge part. So if they're paying you money to play video games or to show video games on your network, ESPN's going to do it. They're in the business of making money.
Oh yeah.
It's going to make better revenue than like nothing being on there.
Yeah.
Reruns of Sports Center. I mean, they already have that on one channel. They're not going to put it on another one. So you might as well put something up there that people are going to at least check out. And in this
Right.
case, people who checked it out actually got hooked for a little while. So
Exactly. You
TV
did.
ratings, I did,
Yeah.
which is it's fine. I mean, that's what I like to do. So speaking of raising money for MOBAs, because that's where we're going. Did you see that the Dota 2 uh, competition here got raised like $4 million for their prize pool?
Wow.
Ridiculous. And it's like, um, I think it costs like $10 to get into this compendium, and each sale takes like 25% of it and puts it towards the money. So they basically take a quarter of the money and put it in for the prize pot.
We
And
should start
that's
playing Dota.
yeah, be really good at Dota. Only 25% is going into the prize pool, and it's already made $4 million.
Wow. So they're making money and then they're dumping money into the end prize.
That's nuts.
This contest sells out really fast. Last year it sold out really fast. I think we no, we didn't talk about it last year, but I
Well,
think
we did, but we
I
didn't talk about it on here.
right. We had a conversation.
It wasn't
Yeah, like it
documented.
sells out like in minutes.
10
It's
minutes.
ridiculous.
That's how fast the
And then
Valve thing sold out this year.
the prizes are like $10 million.
Ridiculous.
We're doing it
Absolutely.
wrong. We're not pre-ordering Call of Duty. We're gonna start playing Dota 2.
I'll play. Let's go. Let me just
It's the next
stretch
game
out
we
my
bought.
carpal tunnel real quick.
Yeah.
Sit here at my computer because I don't spend enough time at a computer every day. Moving on to some, I don't know what kind of news this is. It's interesting, I'll say. Uh, Black Ops 3. So last week we talked about the release trailer. We got all amped up
Yeah.
about that. We talked about how they're doing zombies, how they're doing co-op, how they're doing so many different new and exciting things. And a Black Ops dev came out and actually said the 3-year production, like their 3-year cycle, actually allowed them for risk taking. So, I mean, I'm assuming by risk taking, other than the fact that they're doing like Titanfall-esque movement, which they did in the last game, um, I have a feeling that the risk taking is more so like gameplay mechanics. So they're doing a 4-player co-op. They're doing a part of single player where you can choose whether you're going to be male or female, which makes me
I
feel very
know.
giddy.
So excited.
Uh, do you think that there's going to be more, you know, risks that they're putting out there, or do you think it's just going to be like two major things that are going to show off as risks
I hope so. I mean, they used to turn over Call of Duties.
every other
Each
year?
studio would do it every 2 years.
Yeah.
So one year you'd have Activision, the next year you'd have Treyarch. Now they have a third one. What's their name?
Sledgehammer.
Sledgehammer. So now it's every 3 years. So
Yeah.
it gives everybody an extra year to work on it. So I think that's why this one's bigger and better. Now you could, and I know that this is all I care about, but you can have a whole 4-player co-op of just chicks,
Yeah.
which I'm so pumped for. And you know what? Like, that's exciting to me. And they wouldn't have given that to us. When have you ever played in a single player story of Call of Duty as a chick, let
Never.
alone in a co-op situation? Never. So I feel like this extra year, I think this is probably going to be the best Call of Duty that they've put out in years.
Well, we've seen it with this last Call of Duty too, because the last one was the first 3-year cycle, right? Because it was
Yeah.
not Infinity Ward. This was Sledgehammer. So Sledgehammer had the full 3 years to rip out this game, and then boom, out came Advanced Warfare, and it turned out to be a good game. I mean, we really liked
Much
it.
better than Ghosts.
Yeah,
Much better than Ghosts.
we both really liked it. We just haven't really played it a lot because we have it on the Xbox, but which is my paperweight upstairs. Although my wife's probably playing it right now, so. But yeah, I think that the 3 year cycle has actually made them sit back, hammer some more things out, put more into the game, and it feels better. It feels like it's coming out with more polish. It feels like it's coming out with not so much more risk, but with just more to do. Like you said, four-player
Bigger,
co-op.
better.
Yeah, like
Yeah. Like never in my wildest dreams would I have ever imagined us getting co-op on the single player for Call of Duty because they've never ever done it. So
yeah.
this even though I love zombies more than anything in Call of Duty, I'm so excited about this. I can't even stand it.
I think the part that's even crazier is the fact that Call of Duty, which is typically like a male-centric, like dudes only game, or at least that's how it's perceived, is such a like they're going out kind of on a limb, but not really, and putting in a playable female character. They're allowing you the choice. I mean, that's
Well, Black Ops with Black Ops 1 or was it 2? They did it where when we would play with the zombies,
yeah,
you would have, we would randomly be assigned. So there were several times that I didn't get to be the girl and I was like some like redneck, which is fine. Or, you're like one of the like what there was like what some like scrawny like lunatic. And then one of the other people would be the girl and I wouldn't get to be the girl.
right. Yeah,
And then I was
like,
sad.
and even when we had like Buffy, you always wanted to be Buffy,
Always wanted to be Buffy, yeah.
and
And
you,
then like even the multiplayers, was it Black Ops? No. Was it Ghost? They started throwing in you could
the
choose a
female,
female to
yeah.
be in the multiplayer. So I always did that. I was okay with that. But this is 10 times better.
Absolutely. I'm such a fan of them doing this.
Me too. I love it.
So there's something behind you and it's robotic and it's a bear and don't
That's
turn
not
around.
funny. That's not
You
funny.
have all the lights on. It's fine.
It's not funny.
But speaking of you
I know
being
exactly what you're talking.
scaredy,
You don't even have to tell me. You're talking about. You're talking. I know exactly what you're talking about. Five Nights at Freddy's.
absolutely. The fourth one's going to be coming out here. The final chapter, they say, which tell me if I'm wrong, but if it's Five Nights at Freddy's, shouldn't you do a fifth one and that should be your final chapter?
You should. I
And
don't think you should make these games at all because they're terrifying.
oh my God, the picture of the final chapter that comes out in October is
It's
terrifying.
terrifying. He's got like
Oh,
little angry scary bears like in his outfit. It's
and his
terrifying.
chest bear. Oh,
Eventually, our YouTube channel is going to have an RFG Kids, and very soon, my 8-year-old is going. We're going to throw up a video of her playing
all
Five
three of
Nights
them.
at Freddy's 3. Yeah,
Oh, nice.
she loves it. She's terrified, and then she's like, "Can I try it again?" Like,
Oh my gosh.
I don't like being scared at
That's
all.
I was
So
gonna say that's a brave little girl.
I've never played it. I've sat there and watched her play it. I've watched my husband play it, but I will not play. And I still jump
I was gonna say
250 feet. It's so bad. It's
even watching
terrifying.
it, like, because when I get bored or something and I throw it up on YouTube just to see what it was like,
It's
uh,
terrifying.
yeah, you're sitting there and you're like, all right, what is this? You know, it's a hallway, it's whatever, and then all of a sudden, and you just like jump and I jumped, I like turned my screen off, I walked away, I came back to it like 20 minutes later, and I was like, yeah, I'm exiting out before I even hit play again. Like, nope, not for me. Sorry, skip me.
Yeah. And this is coming out for Halloween this year.
Yeah, it's gonna be terrifying
Oh my
and
gosh, I
awesome.
can't even. Awesomely terrifying.
And she's gonna be all
I'll go watch
hopped up
like
on.
PewDiePie or Markiplier play it because I like watching their reactions and then I don't have to do it myself.
No, you
Or
let
I'll
your
just let my
daughter do it
do it. Yeah. I'll throw her reaction up on YouTube. It'll be perfect.
when she's all hopped up on Halloween candy, and you're like, go
Oh
ahead and
yeah.
go play.
We'll be just getting back from Disney too, so she'll be like a
Perfect,
hot mess.
perfect. Speaking of other things you don't expect, Microsoft E3, they said they're not going to be traditional. It's not going to be a traditional Microsoft E3 this year, which the more and more they say this, the more and more I've been terrified of what's actually going to be here. Because I keep saying to you,
I know.
Michelle, it's going to be games. They're going to keep going with games. It's not going to be this, your Xbox is the everything console. It's not going to be anything like that. I keep telling you, it's going to be games. Have no fear. And every time they say this, I start having more and more fear. I'm having anxiety on what we're actually going to see because they've been talking about HoloLens. They've been talking about how it's going to be a different type of E3. It's not going to be what we expect, not going to be what we've seen last year. And last year, I thought they had a good E3.
It was better than the year before where they were like, hey, watch your TV through your Xbox One.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I do with it now. When I was so against that, I'm like, why aren't you talking about video games? This is what I've done to prepare myself for all of this. I've set my expectations all the way to the floor. And if they don't talk about Gears of War, then I'm going to be upset. If they do talk about Gears of War, I don't care about anything else they have to say.
How can you say that? It's such a
Then I won't
huge
be
part of
upset.
your life.
The Xbox One, it's not.
All right. It was
not.
such a huge part of your life.
It was. I ate, breathed, and slept Xbox 360.
We did that.
It's true. Now I watch TV through it and HBO Go and Netflix.
And I occupy my wife with it because that's what she's doing right now. So.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm hoping that they just come out and they're like, look at all these games. Oh, yeah, also we have HoloLens, but I have a feeling it's going to be like, we have a couple games. Oh, yeah, and we have HoloLens, and we have this fantasy football app that you should install, and we have
just
this.
Lower your expectations all the way down.
Just nothing. Just absolutely have no expectations.
Yeah.
And hope that they talk about Gears of War, not remastered edition.
Yeah, you hear that? You better not be talking about that. I better hear the new.
Bright side is it's supposed to be 60 frames a second. So, I mean, there's that.
I'm not buying the first one.
But it's remastered at 60 frames a second.
I said no.
Okay.
Well, I didn't. Nope.
Wow. Did you hear her? She snapped at me?
I'm not doing it. I'm not playing the first one.
Bitter.
Because the first one was my least favorite.
The first one was everyone's least favorite.
All right, then.
And if they say otherwise, they're wrong. This isn't an opinion show. This is a dictatorship.
You give me free games for gold? I'll take that. I'll download it to my hard drive, but that's as far as we're going to go.
Like I told you, if they put it out for like $10, I'd think about it. If they put it out for $20, ain't no way.
I'm not thinking about it at $10.
I would think about it. I'm not saying I'd get it, but I would think about it.
I'm not getting it. I won't think about it. Games for gold, free edition, you got me. Otherwise, thanks, but no thanks.
So speaking of Gears, it's kind of related because Cliffy B is going to be at the PC gaming show.
Oh, Cliff Bleszinski, of course he is. Isn't his game going to be a PC game?
Fortnite?
He's not Fortnite.
What's
that's
his new
Epic.
game?
He's no longer with Epic.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
he's with that other studio. What's his studio? Boss Key Productions.
Sure.
It is.
I don't remember what his game is called, though.
I don't remember what it's called either, but it's Boss Key Productions. That's his new company that he built. And the only reason I remember that is because I get notifications on my phone every time he goes live on Twitch with Boss Key Productions. So Cliffy B is going to have his own time on the E3 PC Focus conference. That's good.
Yeah, well, so this year they're going to have a PC conference, which is different than most years. They don't have one. They have
love
like
that.
their own
You
thing.
have companies like Blizzard and all those other big ones that is primarily PC. I can't think of a single other one.
No, that's it. That's all. Just Blizzard and Cliffy B, and that's it. No, they're gonna have the creator DayZ, Dean Hall go on there. Bohemia Interactive, Cloud Imperium Games, Tripwire Interactive, Square Enix, Obsidian, Paradox, Humble Bundle is gonna go out there.
You're just making things up now.
Actually, I know you're not a PC gamer, so it doesn't pertain to you. But anyone else who is a PC gamer out there, Humble Bundle has a weekly deal where you can get like 10 games for $10, basically.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty phenomenal. That's actually where I got my Batman combo there, because I got 3 games with all the DLC for like $7.99 or something.
Nice.
So that's where you guys need to go. But yes, they're going to have their own little spiel at E3, and now we have all of the major consoles going to be there, except Nintendo, who does their own little thing but still sends it in during E3. Whatever the case, uh, I'm kind of excited, but honestly don't really care if PC is there or not because we don't do enough PC gaming.
Yeah, I'm gonna
No
skip
offense,
that.
Dota.
Maybe, probably not. Maybe I'll watch that.
I'll watch it just to see what like Cliffy B does, Cliff
Yeah,
Blasinski, or maybe see
but
what Daisy's all about because that's like the Walking Dead real life but not really real life type thing.
right.
But other than that, yeah, I'm not really too stoked about a whole lot of anything else. Final Fantasy's still kind of blah to me, so
Might be better than what Xbox puts out. Just
could be,
saying.
could be. Uh, and while we're on the topic of E3, I have a prediction.
I'm ready.
I think Watch Dogs 2 is going to be at E3 this year.
That would be pretty cool.
I
Should I
have,
write it down?
I mean, you can if you want to, but I have reason to believe that it will be at least talked about. And the reasoning for that is
You
that
just suck it.
well, yes, no, not at all. But a senior gameplay programmer at Ubisoft went ahead and put it on their resume that Watch Dogs Bad
Oh,
Blood and Watch Dogs 2 are games that they worked on.
is it no longer on his resume? Like, did that get taken off?
Yeah,
Probably.
they basically took it down almost immediately.
Okay, but not
Um,
fast enough.
yeah, they went ahead and scrubbed it of
Whoops,
Watch Dogs 2, but
is bad.
people have screen caps already, so sorry to say you leaked out a game beforehand. Um, yeah, I'm hoping E3, but if not, then I'll be wrong for once in my life. That's okay. I'm alright
He
with
was
that.
wrong last week.
No,
It happened.
you're misremembering something.
I'm not at all. I remember you said something. I was like, "Hey, they made this game." Oh, I can't remember what it was.
Is it when I said you were right?
Yep, and you were wrong.
I don't think I ever said I was wrong
Laura
because
Croft.
that's never
That game
true.
company made Laura Croft, and you were like, "I don't
Mm,
think so." And then I told everybody that play the tape, play it.
no, we're not gonna do that because I'm never wrong. But
Go
moving
listen to last week's
moving
part,
on. Yes,
number 30.
if you listen to podcast 30 and I am wrong, go ahead and say it in the comments, and then I will be right. Moving on. So just like in real life, MLB 15 went ahead and took out all of the people in the Baltimore Orioles Chicago White Sox game.
Oh,
I
because
love
they did
this.
that. Yeah, that's kind of it's sad, but
Yes,
it's neat that
I
they
love it for all the right
changed it the way it was.
reasons, not all
Yeah,
the wrong ones. Uh, yes, so because they had to change the game time based on curfew and they had to change a bunch of other things, they basically had a completely empty stadium. And I mean completely empty, zero people, just the teams playing. Um,
people threw tantrums about that too. And you know what? I think what they did was exactly right because they had like the guy that runs the field come out because the reporters were like, "Why? What, I don't know why you're making such a big deal about this." He goes, "The people that we have here that we use to keep an eye on things inside the stadium, they're more useful helping outside the stadium
right.
doing, stuff like that." So I love that they did that because they were keeping their city safe.
Right, they're basically saying that there are more important things in life than baseball. And a lot of times people don't take a step back and realize that their sport is, greater than life itself, and it's not. So they did the right thing. And MLB went ahead and did the right thing by emptying out the stadium for when you play on that date. And I think it's great.
I think it's cool.
I love when games do this, and even though you don't like Left Shark from last week, I think that every game should take real life activities and incorporate it into their game.
Yeah, I think this one was totally, totally cool. And can I just say that keeping the stadium closed was probably a good idea because people act stupid when baseball games are won, and
And
I did
and they
right.
did win.
Yeah,
The Orioles
so
did win.
I mean, every time like the San Francisco Giants won the World Series, the people of San Francisco burned down the city. So, just saying.
Yeah, I mean, That's all right, right? You're supposed to burn down the city when you win things.
It's supposed to do that.
Oh, sorry. I must be confused.
And it's so cold up here anyway, so if the Bills or the Sabres ever won anything, everything would be frozen anyway.
Yeah, we'd all be like huddling up around fires, so it wouldn't
Yeah,
matter.
keep us warm.
Damn it. Let's talk about some Assassin's Creed news.
Yes,
The movie starts filming in September.
with Michael Fassbender.
That's right.
Oh, I'm so pumped. I can't wait. It'll come out in 2016.
I'm stoked. But if they're actually starting to shoot it, which let's not ruin it, it's like 4 months away, 5 months away, whatever it is, 4.5 months away. I don't know. It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is if as soon as they start to shoot it, I'll take a sigh of relief because from now until then,
Anything can happen.
anything can happen. Exactly. But yeah, he seems really optimistic. It sounds like they have a start date in mind, and I'm really excited. Uh, he hasn't necessarily said he's going to be Desmond Miles yet, but I'm pretty sure that's who they're going to
I
make
don't
him
think
be.
he can be Desmond. I think he would be our assassin.
I think he's got it. Well, Desmond is the assassin.
No, he's not.
Spoiler alert: Altair and Desmond are the same person.
Okay, but they're not.
But they are. It's
But they're
the same character
two
model.
different. It's no, but listen.
You listen.
two
Just
different
because he
time
looks
frames.
different as Ezio doesn't
They are.
mean.
It is different. I think he's going to play the assassin. Desmond's
think.
just like the.
I think he's going to be Desmond, and then they're just going to throw a hood on him when he's the assassin.
It's stupid. It's not going to happen.
It's going to be funny when I'm right.
You're wrong.
Let me ask you this. If this game ends up getting filmed, but then they don't want to put it out and put it in theaters, do you think
I'm
it'll be
gonna
something like
Pay
Netflix?
for it.
Or
I would.
like,
I'll pay for it. Pay per view.
well, or like, what was
Download
it?
it to your game
Crackle?
console.
What, the Walking Dead, was it Watchtower or something like that? Came out on Crackle?
Something. No,
And
this is what they would have to do. They would have to put it on Xbox and PlayStation as a download. I would pay to play it. I absolutely would. That would be the best way to go.
I think I would agree. I would absolutely pay to watch this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I wouldn't pay to watch other movies, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like this. Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to hit theaters in 2016, but I feel like this, even if it didn't, and they just put it out there, would absolutely make me want to go play it or watch
Yeah.
it.
And I'm
Play it.
totally going to see it.
All right, last thing of news I have, a little
I
bit
don't
of a
have any
throwback.
news. It's terrible.
Well, I have one more piece.
Okay.
I have a little throwback. Did you ever play Banjo-Kazooie when you were, 38?
No. You couldn't
No,
help
when you were
yourself.
younger?
No, and I'm not 38.
Uh,
Stop. You have
well, I know you're not 38 now. You're like 62.
Oh my
Um,
God.
the Banjo-Kazooie successor has come out and is basically ready to go. They're crowdfunding this game, and it's the spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie. It's called Ukulele. Get it?
Oh,
Ukulele.
I got it.
Okay. And they went ahead and basically made it go, made their thing go live. $15 would get you the game. It's gonna be like the same thing, a 3D platformer. And in the first 24 hours, they made $1.5 million.
That's pretty good.
So I'm pretty sure they hit their
goal.
goal there, which means we're going to get a new 3D platformer game, and it's going to be like Banjo-Kazooie. So I don't know if you really care about Banjo-Kazooie, but
I never played it.
it seems pretty cool.
Sure.
Why not, right?
Yeah.
So another crowd-funded win, which is
As long as
shocking.
it comes out.
As long as it comes out, that's right. Well, that's all I have. If you're listening to us on the radio, thank you.
Thanks.
If you're listening to us on YouTube, check out our other YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all that fun stuff, as well as our website. And I feel like I missed something. And Instagram. And other than that, #bye.
Bye.